Very good evening, friends. This side Rahul Magan here as a Group Chief Executive Officer, Treasury Consulting, and also a venture capitalist. As I speak on 27th October 2020, which is precisely 7 days away from US elections, and as I speak, the US markets are closed, and red is the favorite color of US market nowadays. And maybe favorite for another 5 to 7, maybe 10 plus days. Today, while watching, when I was focusing on my Reuters terminal, all of a sudden I entered into a discussion and with some banker of US, and that discussion continued for at least 1 hour, and it was pretty interesting discussion, to be honest. And that discussion was all about blue sweep strategy. So I thought let's make a video on that. But before I go, let me remind you that like any other YouTube videos, our YouTube videos also having a dialog box. If you click on that dialog box, you will get a paragraph followed by a link. If you click on this link, you will be able to reach to the free groups of Treasury Consulting, which includes YouTube, Twitter, WhatsApp, Instagram, and whatnot. So you can access that. While I was discussing with that banker, I'm definitely of the opinion that this time the US elections is not going to be easy. At least it is little cumbersome compared to what had happened in 2016, which is Trump versus Hillary. Of course, with due respect to Trump and Biden, everyone having their own permutations and combinations as far as this election is concerned. There are people in US, those who are pro-Biden. There are people in US, those who are pro-Trump. There are people in Asia like me, those who are pro-Trump. I am pro-Trump because of Chinese factor. The way he handled Chinese factor is exorbitant, and I don't think that in the history there is any American president who was there and who may be there who able to handle the Chinese factor very well. Of course, there are many people those who criticize Trump by calling him using various names, and but I would like to ask one thing from them: name one politician across the globe who not made the mistake. There are politicians across the globe who destroyed the whole economy of that country and still being considered as a god. There are many examples we have in Asia and outside Asia in that regards. So Trump also made mistake. I agree that the way he handled virus, it was pretty immature way to handle virus. But one thing which goes in his favor that no one was no country of the globe handled virus in the rightest way. No country. There was a time when Singapore was clueless about virus. And even today, when Singapore reports 5, 7, 10 cases, I'm not sure whether these cases are genuine or not. Because do you believe that, the world only having 40 to 43 million cases? Many distinguished speakers across the globe raised their concern about the numbers reported by the various governments. And forget me, I'm just 36, by the way. Many distinguished speakers across the globe. And I also agree that majority of the countries even do not have a medical infrastructure to report the numbers. So whatever number comes in public domain on Bloomberg TV or maybe some newspaper or some internet websites, I really doubt about the authenticity of that number, and really no country is an exception in that regards, to be honest. I don't know what is the accuracy level of these numbers. But anyways, this was one of the point of discussion with that banker. Another point of discussion, and thankfully he was in agreement with me. He was in agreement that the way the numbers are reported is really awesome, and the hard reality is several times what we see on media. Another important thing that went ahead in discussion is the blue sweep strategy. I clearly understand the meaning of blue sweep strategy, and let me explain to you first what exactly it is. Blue sweep strategy is generally used in elections, or it's a kind of strategy which is used sometimes in the corporate governance structures also, which effectively meant that few people get get more than control. What do you mean by more than control? You understand? Few people get more than control, and apparently it look like they would do the justice to the country, which not yet done, you know. But what happened, once they get control, they just ruled the country and made it more messier than it was. So this is blue sweep strategy. If I use in simplistic way, it means that from an election parlance, it means that if any political party wins, the people, the electoral people who voted for them, they feel that he will do or she will do something good for them. But unfortunately, they make the life of people more messier what it was. And by the time people realize, it is almost in the books. That is, things are way messier than no one can control that. Although there are many people in US who do not believe in blue sweep strategy as yet. Now, when the election was started, there was a consensus that Biden is going to get win. Okay, I agree. Then came consensus Trump and Biden is having a very lower gap. I agree. Now today, Fifth Third Bank said that Biden is having good chances of winning. Okay, I agree. Now today, people are saying that Biden will control in US parlance the GOP, the Congress, and of course the White House, which precisely means that if he say 1 plus 1 is 22, then 1 plus 1 is 22. Simple. I'm really not sure if you're watching this video, you are pro Trump or you are against Trump, but one of the beautiful things Trump did, I can say, is of course the way he controlled China. And one of the two super example is the export tariffs and the TikTok deal. And second thing Trump really did well is the taxation part of US. I remember when I was in EXL as a treasurer, I was always tend to have negative feedback of the US taxation system. In fact, many people came to us during general discussions that US taxation system is really complicated and you need to spare a lot of time. Trump made it a lot easier. And one of the important thing which I am not sure why Trump is really not highlighting during his campaign is that the offshore funds, like before Trump, with due respect, American companies were known of putting trillions in offshore, like in Ireland, wherein on paper they were paying around 0% taxes, 0.005%. What is 0.005% tax? Nothing, forget, simple. Trump made tax policies in such a way that majority of that money came back in the US economy, and US economy did pretty well. We need to understand that economy did pretty well from a jobs angle, from a manufacturing angle, and everything. But Biden is having contrast opinion in terms of taxes, and he said that taxation structure would change by 22. Now the question is, if Biden will change the taxation structure by 22, it would definitely have an impact on the big boys like Amazon, Facebook, Google, Microsoft, and all big boys. Private equity, venture capitalists, big banks, Goldman, Citi, and all. Definitely would have an impact. This impact is not 1 billion, 2 billion. Huge impact. And I'm really not sure whether these guys are prepared or not. But I'm sure that the kind of infrastructure they hold, they must have done some mathematical computations as of today that if there is a tax structure effective 22, then this much amount of money they need to pay from their pocket. I'm sure they must have did some or other form of mathematical computation, which is also known as CMA, continuous monitoring activity, to be done by a team in that company. And another big thing which I am really missing in the debates between these two gentlemen is the big tech. And when I say big tech, I only have four names: Amazon, Google, Microsoft, and Facebook. Now, nowadays, CNET is running before them. In fact, I am not, if I'm not incorrect, I need to check it again. I put an indemnification that 29th October, there is another testimony of US technology company CEOs in Senate. Senate means the US Parliament. I don't know. I think the American technology giant CEO, just like Google CEO, Microsoft CEO, Facebook CEO, Amazon CEO, they must be the most tired people, because after every 10 days they have to present in Senate. It's just like a criminal who need to present in Senate and give his attendance. Singham movie, you know. And this topic was completely away from discussion between Trump and Biden. And in fact, when it comes to tax, the discussion was very, 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 very thin. Marginal discussion. I was expecting, I watched both debates. I watched the debate between the Vice President Pence and nominated Vice President Kamala Harris. I watched both debates between Trump and Biden. I heard each and every word of what Trump said. I have made a diary. I have shown you last time. I made a lot of computations like what would happen if Trump win, what would happen if Biden win, because of course Treasury Consulting is heading to US by 22 end, provided the coronavirus over. We will immediately go ahead to US for that. But one thing I'm sure that the discussion with the banker was ended with the notion that if the blue sweep outlook happened, then maybe for a while after Biden getting a White House, the market is like shoo, and the gold is like this. We are prepared. We are prepared. But in the due course of time, Chinese factor major issue, geopolitical issue of US with their military relationship with South Korea, their relationship with Japan, their relationship with North Korea, Chinese factor, TikTok deal, phase 1 export tariffs, and hell lot of stuff. And why forget tax and the big tech issue? They all come under a radar for Biden. And I really don't think that Biden is in a position to handle all these things, with due respect to him. And if one of them or any one of them backfires, then you even cannot believe what is going to get happen. And guys, as we speak on 27th October, we should not forget that there is a mess which is already there for Trump, and of course a legacy for Biden, which is Federal Reserve balance sheet. Federal Reserve balance sheet is over 7 trillion, which is I think roughly 3 times of Indian GDP. And it is growing. And why Federal Reserve is calling for stimulus, why Mr. Powell is running for stimulus, because Mr. Powell understands that very well. He is a genius. He understands that Federal Reserve having its own limitations. And he cannot bypass these limitations. And more importantly, one of the important factors that was completely swept or missed in the discussion between Biden and Trump is the Federal Reserve outlook. We understand that Trump, to an extent, pushed Federal Reserve to go for zero rates. Initially, including me, I was not okay the way Trump did it. But eventually, this zero rate policy which Trump pushed worked for US. And I think that was the only reason when the coronavirus was at peak in March till September, like any other country, US survived. And US financial system survived very well, guys. Very well. If I compare this mess with 2008, then I think they did fairly well. I think if I compared in 2008, then it is 2 out of 10. Now it is at least 9 out of 10 to Federal Reserve. And one of the important reason was the zero rate policy, because very early Fed made it mandated to everybody that, hey guys, please don't talk about rates. It is zero till 2023, and if required till 2025. So don't talk this. This is not a matter of discussion. Talk something else. Talk about stimulus, talk about ETFs, talk about ITFs, talk about bond buying program, talk this. Don't talk this rates. So here they did pretty well, to be honest. But there are few areas which are gray concern, few gray areas to me, which is of course the taxation, of course the Chinese factor, the geopolitical issues, the North Korea factor, and most importantly the big tech factor. To me, it looks like that American companies are now fed up with too much regulation. And I think I can see this today. I can see this today when a person I really love, a person who always have a smile on his face, the man who started as an English teacher in China, a role model for youngster like us, and end up Alibaba. You know, I have never seen when Jack Ma is not having a smile on his face. Even if I have seen him some conference, I have seen him some kind of seminar, some kind of debate, some kind of he's putting the opinion, he always hold a smile on his face. That is very beautiful, to be honest. When I see him, I feel like very happy that I'm lucky to have. I have seen Steve, I have seen Mr. Jack Ma, I have seen Mr. Buffett, I have seen Mr. Bill Gates, I have seen Larry Ellison, and all the great leaders, those who did really wonderful. And of course, Mr. Powell, the only chairperson of any central bank I love. Lovely person. I really love to meet him when I'm in US. So Jack Ma today said, and I completely in agreement with Jack Ma. I think I'm in agreement cent to cent what Jack Ma said. Cent to cent. Alibaba Group founder Jack Ma criticized the global financial regulations for stifling innovation and urged China to seek a system that accommodated development. After the Asian financial crisis, the risk control highlighted in the Basel Accord has been a priority for regulator, Mr. Jack Ma said at a Bund summit in Shanghai on Saturday. Now the world only focuses on the risk control, not on development, and rarely they do consider opportunity for young people and developing countries. Mr. Jack Ma likened the Basel Accord to a club for the elderly. And I think Mr. Jack Ma, whatever he said, is absolutely perfect. Too much of regulation is bad. Too much of regulation which is happening by regulator, and innovation is zero, guys. And I think we need to understand that. We really need to understand that. Because, if after this, assuming this blue sweep strategy works, and Biden gets a control of GOP, Congress, and White House, and rather than creating something new, he just made a mess up, then we really don't know where we are heading, guys. Because we do not understand the potency of Chinese factor. And as I speak, Chinese premier made it clear in, I think, one of their conferences, which is happening in our meetings with their leaders, that they love to outpost US in terms of GDP. He made it very clear. And I don't think we need to disregard, or we are in a position to disregard the Chinese potency. So that it's not easy for Biden. And if the Trump come, it is not easy for him as well, to be honest. It is not easy for him as well. So to conclude the discussion, we really need to be very focused. I know there are many people, those who focus only till the elections, and they will forget everything after election, whether it's Trump or Biden, whatever, who will wins. But I think that today the discussion with the banker went in a very fruitful direction. And we not only discussed what I said, we also discussed the Mr. Jack Ma factor, the Ant Financial IPO, which made Mr. Jack Ma the 11th richest person of the globe. And many congratulations to him, because There are many richest men we have in the world, but few richest men are only richest because they wanted to spoil the world. But there are few richest, those who really doing good for the world. And one of them, I always love, the man who always holds smile on his face is none other than Mr. Jack Ma. With this, we thank you very much. Treasury Consulting Hedge Fund Desk is keeping a very strict eye on US elections. We are precisely 7 days from US elections. As I speak, it is around 5:30 a.m. Singapore, which means that market to open in another 1 hour. And this is my sleeping time now for maximum 2 to 3 hours. But one thing I'm sure, that this time, unlike the last, US elections is just a demo. The real story will start after elections, provided Biden wins. But if Trump wins, then this story may or might not come. This is Rahul from Treasury Consulting. You know our WhatsApp 9818485155. Have a great time.